In this video, I will be painting the most iconic scene from Sonic Adventure. My name is Agent 00 Sonic. Let's go ahead and get started. What I know I needed to execute this perfectly and as well as I possibly can, I had to grab my 18x24 sketchbook, which I was saving it for a very momentous project. But hey, gotta start somewhere. We grabbed that sketchbook. We ended up drawing everything out. Well, it has been some time for a painting, and a Sonic painting could not have been a better place to start, honestly. This is a commission, so we are still chipping away at that list, but this particular commission came with a little to no barriers, restrictions. The client wanted a painting of Sonic, but there was nothing else that they asked for. They trusted my style and they knew I was good for my art, and they said whatever. So what I thought and I personally held near and dear to my heart was the scene that Sonic was racing down the bridge with the orca killer whale in the background destroying the bridge. Alright, so I know there's no mic on here, I'm sorry. This is the end of day one. I got the final draft of it done, but for now, we're gonna go to bed. I'll see y'all on day two. We already got the sketch done, you saw it. Now I got to transfer it with this raw transfer paper. You've seen me use it before in previous videos. I'll put a link to it in the description box below where I got it, where you can get it and stuff like that. Really helpful, and I'll explain more about it. Now that being said, let's go ahead and hop right back into it, and then after that, it's time to get the paint going. So yeah. Before we start on the painting, I have to gesso the canvas, but this is also where I discovered... Ooh, do I have any more gesso? So, I did not have any more gesso. I do have matte medium, so I'm going to put some matte medium down as a gesso on this canvas. Alright, let's get to it. Now, would I have preferred to have the gesso? Yes, but matte medium does work in a pinch. Essentially, it just primes the canvas. That way, you are painting on a surface instead of just directly on the canvas. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that, you know, save some paint. Saves some time. With the canvas dried, it was time to transfer the drawing onto the canvas with the raw transfer paper. This paper is a time saver for sure, and if you're doing any sort of concept art to a painting and don't want to wear down the canvas or, you know, dirty things up with erasers or adjustments that are needed, this will hands down save you so much stress, at least for me it did. So all you need to do is to make sure you have enough to cover the canvas or the art that's being transferred and tape that down. Now, I personally have been using the gray Sorrel transfer paper. I think that works the best, and honestly that was what I found first, but they do have other ones though. Now, you tape down your art and the paper onto the canvas to avoid any movements and risk messing up your canvas and, well, adding frustration onto it. After that, you're going to grab yourself a ballpoint pen and, well, trace the drawing. And this is how the graphite side of the Sorrel transfer paper is going to transfer your art with the pressure of the pen going down and, well, transfer the art. The most nerve-wracking part is trying to get this off and hope I actually got the entire thing done. If you're ready, I'm ready. Woo! Alright. Okay, so it did show up. There are areas like right here in the middle and around the edge that are like super gritty. It's also because I was pressing them down when I got it, but it transferred over. Everything I needed transferred over. So that is the good part. I know it's really awkward with the mic being right here, me like bent like I broke my neck. But yeah, so it's done. Now I'm going to clean up the Sorrel transfer paper and I'm going to put them back in the box because you can reuse them. You can reuse them. So let's do that. And then we'll get our paints and then we'll start on this piece. Some matte medium on that one. It truly has felt amazing to get back to painting, and I am sorry that it has taken me so long to get back to doing it. But going back to the painting, it felt nice to fulfill the canvas and painting the orca, laying down each brush stroke, filling it in with the black layers and everything like that. It felt so nice. If you noticed, especially with this dynamic shot right here, I have a new motion tracking thing called a camera slider that if you watch my behind the scenes or if you have me on social media, you know my entire ordeal with it, but I have finally been able to capture the angle and the shot that I've been wanting for such a long time. I know, my overhead, whatchamacallit, is in the way, and I do apologize about that. I'm gonna try to fix that. But just look at this angle, look at the capture you got going on. It's just, back to the painting. So I decided to go ahead and after finishing the orca and everything like that, it was time to start working on Sonic. So what I realized, my paints are kind of thin and my layers are very thin. So I did multiple layers of Sonic. And I try to keep each color respective. So if I was working on an area that was blue, I worked on the blue area. If I was working on an area that was white, I worked on the white area. And of course, I have to remember paint has to dry. So I went and I worked on all the other areas. If you're wondering why I sat there and filled in the areas that aren't going to be white with white, well, it's to cover up the graphite from when I was doing this raw transfer paper thing. That way it just covered it all, made a nice even coat. And yeah. But look at this. You guys know my blues. I love my blues. So getting to paint Sonic, don't know why I haven't done it sooner, honestly. But it's just so satisfying to me. But day 2 went pretty well. It's getting pretty late. I still have to do some other stuff. Okay, see y'all on day 3. Now, going back to the orca, we decided to go ahead and give it just a little bit of detail by making it looking more graphic, like it was from the original release of Sonic Adventure. So I decided to add those streaks that you see on the front. So now it's time to do the earth part of the hills. So I decided to do that in a base coat of brown, and then I decided to throw on like a light green and then a little bit of a darker green that I decided to blend with a little bit of brown to give it that more earthy look. And looking back at it now, I should have just did the entire earth parts and then go with the fence post of the bridge around it. But anyways, I decided to add a little bit of silver to kind of give it that video game look that I was going for off of my reference, and kind of just keep on working with it a little bit darker by adding a little bit of black to the silver to give it that kind of textural thing. And then to kind of, I don't know, it was just on the whim, I added a little bit of specks with a smaller brush of blacks all over, and then for the zoom in part I decided to show a little bit of texture by having a dry brush with the same colors that I was using before, and to kind of blend in a little bit of the black specks so that way it wasn't too apparent. And then we decided to move on to Sonic. So I added, instead of him just being pure white, because his eyes aren't pure white in this photo, and I wanted to give a little bit of texture, I added a little bit of silver, and then I worked with the pupils, and then I added his nose, and then I grabbed for his muzzle and his belly, the cream tan peach looking color thing to get the shadow look and everything like that. I got a little bit, like very, very minimum brown to give it that shadow for his muzzle and his stomach and his ears. We're gonna call it a night. We got Sonic. We got Sonic's body for the most part done. I need to get some sleep, so this is day 3. I'll see y'all tomorrow, or for you in a few seconds. Day. There has been something so enjoyable about painting this painting. Not just for the fact that it's Sonic the Hedgehog, or the fact that, it's the color blue, But there was something that I felt while working on this painting. I enjoyed it so much. I think it was just the fact that it took me so long to get back into painting, to get so engrossed in my work, to completely just do something that I've been wanting to do for such a long time. And again, I'm sorry for all those people that are on my commission list. I promise you, I am doing my very best to get them done. But this is such a great kickoff point. I have been working on other things that I haven't necessarily recorded. I have been working on some digital art. I've been working on a lot of DaVinci Resolve, which is what I edit my videos with. I've been learning a lot about that. I've been learning a lot about film, cinematography, and everything, and shots and compositions, just so that way I can get the best I possibly can and give it to y'all for watching the videos and taking the time out of your lives to give me, I think this video is probably gonna be about maybe 15 minutes. 15 minutes of your time. You easily could have just not give me 15 minutes of your time. But for those that did, thank you. I really do appreciate it. So I decided to work on the shoes for Sonic, and that took a lot longer than I like to admit because I had to go and try to do the reflective parts with the different colors and everything like that. But I got that done. I decided to do the rest of the highlights of Sonic's face, and then I finally started working on touching up like little parts and pieces of his body and everything. And then I got to the little hazard thing in the background. I don't know what that was. I think it's like a speed ramp, if I'm not mistaken. I worked on a little bit of the debris in the background and the orca. And then the last part that I decided to work on, because I did not notice when I, for some reason, did the background, was the left hill in the background. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish this up. And yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long 4 days. Day 5 was quite literally me just putting the final touches on this entire piece. You've watched 12 minutes of the video. You've seen more than what I've done. I described more into detail what I've done. So for now, I know I said 15 minutes earlier. Let's just go ahead, let the music vibe out for a bit, and then we'll go back to Past Me for a little bit of talky talk kind of thing. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. So now, enjoy the music. It is done. It is finally done. There's nothing left to do but to show y'all super close up B-roll shots. So thank you so much for watching. Peace, love, and hot sauce. And as always, thanks for watching. That twice now. It's been a long time. All right, let's get back to this. That was really awkward. But the mic's working. The mic is working. I said the mic. So one thing I forgot to do was show you guys the varnish. I'm using the matte medium as a varnish, so that way I can just have that as well, my varnish. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, this is the outro. What'd you think? Let me know if there's anything you wanted to see me do or make in the next video. I am still working on my commissions. All the little cuts and everything like that, I am definitely going to be putting them on my second channel, Agent 00 Sonic BTS, for behind the scenes. And yeah. Nothing else to do but to fade out and put my little thanks for watching. So thanks for watching.